Transit. Hello, hello. Not the best candidate to eat right before you walk up and try to talk. Say hey to people, but I did it anyway. So, hey guys, my name's Aaron. Everyone watching either on the website or watching on Instagram, hello to y'all. Hello to the wonderful, perfect, beautiful people that are in the room here. Hey, a couple of things. We're still in the middle of a pandemic, so I want to run through some social distancing guidelines that we ask everyone. So unless you came with the person, we ask that you keep 6 feet separate from everybody, so everyone can maintain as safe as possible as we get together. Baby Ruth was a terrible idea. Also, we have a little band system. As you're coming in, you can grab bands. And so we got this little blue band that means please maintain social distance, 6 feet, wear a mask when you're speaking to me, all those sort of things. And they also have a red band that means, hey, when I go from here, I may be meeting someone that really can't get sick. And so please even go the extra mile. Let's wave, let's talk, but let's keep more of a distance there. And so we want to keep everybody safe. That's the reason we go through this week after week. I know if you've watched the other videos or if you've come for the last few weeks, we kind of have been beating that same drum, but it's because we love y'all. We care about y'all and want to keep everyone as safe as possible. We do have a couple of announcements, some things that are coming up. So maybe y'all were part of this last year, but we, as a whole church, not just a transit student ministry thing, we did a thing called Water Walk, all right, to raise awareness. So many people don't know, but like the average distance that someone has to walk for water in all these countries is 3 miles round trip to get fresh water. So what we're doing to raise awareness and to raise money for this issue is we partner with a group called Water Missions International, for our 2020 Water Walk. As where, like I said, we're raising money to try to help these people and create wells and do a bunch of different service projects all over the world so people have easier access to clean water. But to raise awareness, what we're doing is this Saturday, we're going to go down to Evans to Locks. We're going to pick up a couple buckets of water. One is going to be filled with dirty, nasty water, and one's going to be filled with beautiful, clean bottles of water. And as we're walking 1.5 miles one way down the canal, as we approach people, people ask, what are you doing? Why are you carrying buckets of dirty water? We can let them know what we're doing and then offer them a clean bottle of water. But we're going to walk 1.5 miles down, and we have a tent set up with a bunch of cheering, hey, great job, and then we'll be coming right on back to where we started. So 3 mile round trip, carrying a lot of water. It's a really fun thing to get together with your families, get together with friends. We did it last year. It really became like a team effort to get buckets of water 3 miles round trip. It's not as easy as it sounds, but that is this Saturday, 9 o'clock at the Savannah Rapids. We also are getting to a thing that we do here at River Rock that we call Give, Serve, Love season. And so we have a service project coming up where Transit is partnering with an organization called iCare. And who that is they actually help house and help get women in the Augusta area out of the sex trafficking ring. Day in, day out, that is their one mission, one goal. And if y'all were with us a few years ago, we actually got to go and see this house. They built a house out in the country that has about like 8 suites. So the person being trafficked, and if they have any kids, have a place to go, a safe place to get out of this game. All right? And so we were there a few years ago, and it was just a shell of a building. We did a bunch of cleanup work inside and got ready for the next phase. Well, now they're just about ready to open the doors. So we're going to go back, do a big clean again for them, help with some outdoor landscape. There's going to be other projects. I don't even know exactly what we'll be doing, but we'll be getting them ready so they can open their doors finally. And it's wonderful being able to see the scene come full circle. All right. So that is going to be October 25th. October 25th. We're going to be leaving immediately after service. That's a Sunday. So we'll be leaving after service around 12:30, and we'll be coming back here around 4 o'clock. Right? So make sure you know, your friends know, your parents know. Heading out there, doing the service projects, be back here. We will have pizza or some sort of lunch provided for you once you get out there. But it's a great thing to do. What's that?
I was just going to say, I think we'll eat here and then go.
Or we'll eat here. You will get food somewhere between that time period or slightly before. That's it. That's all I have of the announcements. All right. Walk for Water this weekend. Put on your calendars October 25th for this iCare project. We're going to get to serve these people who are serving our community. With that, I need y'all to make some noise because he's back. Coach P!
Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Get your stretch in. again because we got competition today. Opportunity for ratings. You miss me, right? You miss me? I know I've been gone for a little while. You miss me? Good. Yes, I have been busy. I have, we had a skunk that had babies. That was a mess. Stuff was super smelly. I had to build a tree. We had the semi-annual clown convention. I was busy, but I'm back now. We're going to see who wants to be champion today. Woo! All right. So, who wants first? Okay, here we go. Here's how we're going to start it. I got it. Today's game involves cupcakes. You cannot be allergic to cupcakes. Who wants a cupcake?
I want a cupcake.
You want a cupcake?
Yeah.
We got one over here. Huh? And you want to do it? You want to do it?
Connolly will do
Everybody's
it.
afraid of me. Everybody's afraid of me. You want to do it?
I feel like
You
it's
got
a
two?
catch.
Come on up. Come on up. We just need two.
Never
Two.
mind. Come on. Wait, take like she's good. She's
We got two. All right. Put this right here.
Already selected.
How about this? You guys pick your favorite color cupcake. All right.
Do we
And
open it? I'm kind of sussed out right now.
what else we got
Probably
here?
don't like cupcakes.
Yes, she does.
You ever been to the dentist, you know, and then they put all this stuff in your mouth, and then they asking you how your grades are, and what your hobbies are, and your answers the same every time for a month. Well, it's gonna be kind of like that today.
No, not another one.
Here we go.
Not again.
You know what this is? I don't know what it's called either. Show me what it is.
Cereal
Show me what it
with
does.
someone-
Seen this?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go
Dude, I
ahead.
literally had to do this before. And this is the game y'all made me like,
No!
no! This is the one y'all made me lose. And then.
And I won.
Okay, wait,
Go
can you
ahead.
tell me what we're doing first?
Wait,
One of put it in first, cause I got it.
which way does it go?
It's this way.
It's
Yeah,
this
yeah,
way.
yeah, the larger.
Whichever way's more uncomfortable, go.
There we
with
go. All right, okay. Tell everybody your name here, contestant one.
My name is Taylor Lawson. Why?
No,
Hold on,
no,
I can't
no,
do-
right? And come on, come on.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
And we need a moderator. We got a moderator, okay?
Hey, I why would mine do it?
Here's what we're gonna do. Okay, we got a list of questions. Okay, so Zach here.
Done. Oh.
We good to go? We good to go? All right, we got a list of questions, okay? And you gotta answer, you're gonna have 1 minute. You gotta answer as many questions as you can. And in that was a minute and a half. You gotta,
Yeah.
that's good, that's good. Cause you gotta eat a whole cupcake in a minute and a half while answering questions. You ready? Here, get your favorite color.
Don't worry, we have highly untrained medical professionals
You should have done it.
Okay.
I can't eat those.
Not that attitude.
Just swallow it.
So?
Throw it home. What?
All right, this is gonna be, this will catch a cupcake maybe. Here we go.
Realize this is a hard.
You can't stand it.
I can't. Okay.
Okay,
Who's going first?
come on, everybody up.
Shoot.
Show them how it's done. Come on over here. Okay? Okay, so you know what you gotta do.
You just gotta answer these questions.
You got a bunch of-
No big deal.
He's got a bunch of geography and math questions, history questions for you. You gotta answer them correctly. No, they're way simpler than that. Like, give us an example of a question.
Name something you do every morning. That's the type of question.
Okay, so you gotta answer as many of those as you can. You got 90 seconds, okay? 90 seconds, and
If I don't eat the cupcake, can I
Nope.
chance?
the cupcake has to be gone after 90 seconds.
Like, I ain't doing it at the same time.
If you wanna eat it all in the first 3 seconds, that's fine. If you wanna just nibble it all the way through the 90 seconds, you do that too, okay? Good?
I'm not eating this. I'm not eating this cupcake.
Let's go, we got
Taylor,
Okay.
Taylor, if you eat the cupcake,
Listen.
we're in this together.
Who's got their Instagram ready or whatever? Because this is gonna make you so famous.
Distraction. I don't like icing.
Yeah.
We're all wrong.
Somebody get this on her Instagram. 'Cause she's gonna be so famous.
No, don't help her.
Okay.
This first question's gonna stump her though.
Here, I'm gonna give you the mic
I like not this dry.
so they can hear the question.
How yellow?
All right,
Can you hear me?
Yes.
on the whistle, on the whistle.
Drop my mouth.
Ready?
That look cute? No.
Ready? Game faces. Excellent. All right, Mark.
First.
All right, Mark, get set.
That's great.
All right, Mark, get set. Eat a cupcake. Go.
What's your favorite book?
I don't read.
That's what I thought. Name something that comes in pairs.
Cheese.
Name something that you ate yesterday.
A donut.
What's your favorite subject in school?
Lunch.
What's the best topping for a hot dog?
Nothing. Hot dogs with yours.
What? That's offensive. What's your middle name?
Elizabeth.
Name a store you find in almost any town.
That Sun gas station. Is that a center?
Sure.
Yeah.
What's your favorite cereal?
Frosted Flakes.
What's the costume you have worn in the past?
I was a cat sometime for Halloween.
Name a treat generally associated with Halloween.
A tree?
Treat.
Candy corn.
Well, that is not a treat. Try again.
Okay. Snickers. Snickers.
Name somewhere you'd like to go.
Greece.
Name a prize you might win from a carnival game.
Those big stuffed animals.
Big stuffed in. What's something Santa does that could get him arrested?
20 seconds.
Break into people's houses.
You got 20 seconds. You got a couple.
Name an article
I'm
of
eating
clothing
it.
that people have 10 of.
Huh?
Name a piece of clothing that people have 10 of.
Shirts. I don't know.
What should people never put on their pizza?
Onions.
Wrong
And
again.
chilies. And chilies.
What's the last movie you saw?
Hamilton.
All right.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, darn, I didn't eat
All
the
right.
cupcake costume.
All right. I got 16 questions. However, the cupcake
Was worth.
is not completely consumed. So we're gonna have to see how contestant 2 does.
Darn.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
You can do it.
Get close, but consume the whole cupcake.
You're ready. You got it upside down. Okay.
Yeah, I put it upside down.
Okay. All right.
Here you go. You can have that.
16 questions and a cupcake.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Oh,
Ready, set?
Yeah.
Ready, set, go.
What might a lobster be afraid of?
Drowning.
That's a terrible answer. What app do you use most often on your phone?
TikTok. Nothing makes
Okay.
you just.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
Can you say the other side?
Name a famous person you admire.
This cupcake is really good. Like, actually.
Oprah.
Who?
Oprah.
Oprah, okay. Name something you do before bed every night.
Get on TikTok.
Name a type of cheese.
Cumberland.
Cumberland?
Cumberland.
If you can understand, I don't think that helps.
Provolone. We got Provolone. Provolone.
Name a tool most people might have in their garage.
That's a dryer.
Okay. Name a powerful superhero.
Wonder Gun.
Okay. Name a chore you hate to do. It's wonderful.
The dishes.
What's the worst kind of shoe to wear in a marathon?
Heels.
Where is a good place to go on a first date?
I don't like this next one. I don't know.
Say something.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, okay. Where's a bad place to go on a first date?
15 seconds.
Eat the cupcake.
A Harvey.
Okay. Name something people do in their sleep.
Sleep.
Oh, wow.
Where's an okay place to fart?
Your ring.
Your room. Okay.
All right.
No one.
I got 14 questions there. However, let's compare cupcakes.
She's been eating those.
There was more cupcakes here.
My cupcake is pretty gone, minus the icing. My cupcake on the desk.
All right.
What was the question total?
14, 16. What do you think?
My cupcake.
I think
my
there's
cupcakes-
only one solution here.
What's the solution?
Get fresh cupcakes, and whoever finishes first wins.
Oh my god!
Let me show it.
Well,
I mean, it's the only solution.
Just hold on.
Let me dump. Okay, dump. Let me dump.
we got enough cupcakes. We can do that.
Yeah.
It's important.
I got it.
Alright. We're gonna go with this.
All right. Yellow cupcake.
One bite.
You don't have to have that anymore.
Oh,
What?
for real?
What?
Unless you
What?
want to.
What?
Oh, you know.
It would have been easier to do
Hold on,
one
let me
bite with
prepare.
the
Wait,
other
let me
hand.
prepare my cupcake.
Oh, I hate icing.
Oh, that
I hate icing.
they're not using the tooth thing.
No, we're not.
Oh, I hate icing.
All right, Mark. You said go. Who made a cupcake fastest?
Taylor's already. No.
Got it. Oh, gotta get it down. Gotta get it down.
Go, Conley, go. Go.
Smile, look.
Can't throw it up.
It's questionable swine language here.
Got it in?
Uh-oh.
Is it clear? Is it clear?
When you finish, open your mouth.
Oh!
winner.
Clear. We got a winner. All right. Thank you guys very much.
What's my prize? Do I get a prize?
Yes.
Yeah, cupcake.
All right. Thank you guys very much. All right.
Pick a trick.
Next we have a video for you. So here we go.
All right, guys. Hey, thank y'all for being here. Great job on the game. That was awesome getting into it. So we're gonna talk about questions that maybe some of y'all have. It's a series that we do every once in a while. We kind of throw it out there because we care about what y'all say when we ask, hey, what do y'all want us to talk about? What do you want to go on? Y'all give us a bunch of good things. Here's one that we've done before, but I believe it comes. It's in today's climate. It's probably I don't know, maybe a little more impactful, a little more important. I don't know, but we're going to talk about how to win an argument because we all get into arguments. There's tons of reasons why we would argue as well. We're going to just run through a few reasons why we argue. Perfect. Endless. All right. So we want more freedom from our parents. It could be trying to argue a new curfew, right? It could be what you want for dinner, right? You're like, hey, we've had Chick-fil-A 7 times this week. Well, what's one more, right? It could be whatever you're arguing. It should be who gets the spots on the sports team. You're going out for sports. You don't get the spot. You're on the team, whatever it may be. Who has to actually do the work on the group project in school, right? Who's responsible for that? Perfect. There's some other ones we got here. So, arguing a call, right, in sports. Right? Football's back, and so there's a lot of arguing a call in sports. We have, there's tons. There's endless opportunities of things that we can argue about. Anyone have a job in there? A little job? Yeah. Perfect. So I had a huge argument with my boss. A little bit about my job is I sell construction supplies to customers, and it's really important to get deliveries made on time, and it sets the whole job site, everything back, right? So I feel a lot of pressure whenever an order gets put in. Well, I had an issue where one of my deliveries was going to get bumped for another person, right? They're going to take this guy's order first before mine, and I called my boss. And unbeknownst to me, he had me on speakerphone as well. And we got into this huge argument, this big shouting match, right? Of saying, hey, you don't care about me or my territory. You care more about this other guy. And this, really looking back, I was not me in my best light. It was a perfect example of when you can be right and wrong at the top of your voice. It was a perfect analogy of what I was doing. It was being extremely loud, extremely rude. And although I still say I was correct in everything I said, how I said it was completely inappropriate and completely wrong, which led to me a few hours later, him and I both, calling each other back and going, hey, we handled that really poorly, probably shouldn't have done it that way. I say that to say there's always opportunities for us to argue, right? There's so much to argue about, right? And maybe some of these are more important than just what you're eating for dinner, right? Or I really would like to stay up till 10:30 instead of 10. I'm old enough now. Whatever it is, maybe there's some important things that mean a lot to you, like who will win the election? Right, this is a big election year, right? Or maybe a more specific question: who should win the election, right? Or what people should do about things like guns or drugs or immigration or women's rights or Proud Boys or BLM or all these different things that people can have opinions on. We need to know now in this climate that we all are living in, how to have these arguments, right? How to have these discussions. Because when topics are hard to talk about, it's important how we talk about them, right? It's not that they shouldn't be talked about, right? Because we should talk about them, but it's how we go about talking about difficult topics is extremely, extremely important. And so that's what we're going to do today. So what we aren't going to do today, you'll hear me bring up a couple different things, right? But we're not going to say whether you're right or wrong on whatever you believe, right? We're not here to say one way or another on any one of the topics that we talk about. But what we're talking about is how we go about having conversations, right? And at the end, when we see the bottom line of it is that the relationship with the person that you're having a conversation with is more important than winning that argument. But we're going to go through some how-tos on how to achieve winning an argument. So you're going to run into a couple people when you're arguing, when you're talking about things. You're going to run into the argumentative person, right? This is the person that it's simply up is down, right? You're like, hey, that color is red, and he is adamant that that color is blue, right? It's a person that just wants to disagree just to disagree, right? It's a person who doesn't really believe in what they're talking about. They just want to see you get upset and you get angry and you get frustrated, and so they just keep egging it on and agitating it, right? They just want to be the argumentative person, right? They don't really care about what you're talking about or even what they are talking about. They just want to see you flustered, right? So with those people, you're going to meet these people a ton in your life. With those people, we're going to love them, we're going to respond kindly to them, and we're not going to try to rationalize our point or our stance or what we believe with them, and we're just going to remove ourselves from the situation, right? The argumentative person, we're not going to put forth the effort to try to convince someone when all they're wanting to do is fight. There is another person, though, when you have a disagreement. This person is someone who legitimately disagrees with you. This is the person who does believe passionately about what they say, and they would really, really, really like you to believe the way they do. And the tension, the conflict we have now, is that you also believe your way, but you really, really, really like them to believe the way you do as well. And so there's conflict, there's tension. And many of us go one or a couple different ways. Right? So many of us go straight to anger. Like if we have someone who disagrees with us, we just instantly 1,000 on the scale of 1 to 10. Our anger is just way up there, right? We respond very quickly to anger. Or some other people, we respond like this. We feel torn, right? We're like, oh, maybe I am wrong in all of this. Maybe that person is right. And you're all of a sudden, you're just torn apart because someone disagrees with what you believe. Or maybe you have the response where you simply discuss your point. And that's really what we're going to talk about today and how to get there. We all have our tactics when it comes to winning an argument, right? We can yell, we can scream, we can fight, but really our goal is the same. Our goal is to win the argument, right? Whenever we have someone who disagrees with us, we want to win this argument. That's the struggle that we have internally, is we want them to believe how we believe, because we believe we're right, and we believe what we believe is correct, and so we want them to be correct because we love them. They should believe exactly like we do. And if that means we win the argument, then that's also awesome. But that's not how we're going to approach it, right? We're going to move a little bit past that, right? We're going to talk more about how to discuss difficult things, difficult arguments, without the goal of just winning the argument, especially if it's going to cause you the relationship with the person. All right, so there was, we're going to go way back into Bible times. This takes place after Jesus comes, lives his life, dies, and comes back from the dead. His brother, his name is James, right? His brother, while Jesus was on earth, right? While Jesus was here, Jesus is James' older brother, right? Has a couple things, right? He told people that Jesus was crazy. He was like, hey, you can't believe it. He told Jesus that he was crazy, right? He was quick to tell Jesus how there was no way Jesus could be God, the God that he claimed that he was. So there was no way. Also, he was quick to defend what he thought and why he thought it. We're going to run down these things. This is what James was really big, was known for, at least during Jesus's life. He kind of does a quick 180 here in a second. But he was quick to make a point, take a stand, and defend his position. He was quick to fight. He was quick to try and convince everyone that he was right. And then James after Jesus comes, lives his life, is crucified and dies, it's not until Jesus comes back from the dead that James changes his whole opinion. Is when you see your older brother come back from the dead, you start to believe him a little more of what he was saying. Maybe he wasn't this crazy guy. Maybe he was God. And this was James's experience. Like, he was so quick to respond in the negative, right? He was so quick to fight. After meeting Jesus, he's writing a letter to the church because James now becomes the head of Jesus' church that he was starting in Jerusalem. James actually writes this in one of his letters to the church. It says, James 1:19 says, "My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to anger, and slow to speak and slow to become angry." There's a couple things that through James's life that he learned after seeing Jesus was that he really needs to take a break, to just take a moment and listen more. The whole analogy, I'm sure you've heard, you have 2 ears, so listen twice as much than you speak. It's really important that when you're faced with someone who disagrees with you, instead of trying to rattle off all the facts and the reasons why you come to the conclusion of whatever conclusion you came to, and why you know you're right, because here's a list of things I'm right about, instead, take a moment and listen to them. Let them get their point out, right? Do your best to understand where they're coming from. And maybe find a common ground somewhere, right? If you're not agreeing on this issue, what's deeper? So you could be on 2 sides of the coin. You could be Republican on this side or Democrat on that side. And you can disagree about how to go about whatever it is, right? Whatever the topic is, it could be any topics that these 2 groups argue about. But where you can come to a conclusion and come to agreement is that both of them have a mindset that people matter, and we need to care about people first. Now, how we go about caring about people looks different in both of those parties, but we can at least come to a conclusion, come to an agreement that we care a lot about people. And the same is in politics as it is in your home, right? Like whether it's negotiating a better curfew, right? Your parents care about you. They want you to get the adequate sleep you need to do the best you can do at the next day. So understand that. Meet them at that place, that highest priority. Come up there and discuss it. Talk about it there. And then negotiate down and work down to the point where you disagree. Right? Be quick to listen. Be quick to understand where whoever's in front of you, the point, where they're coming from. And then go from there. So the bottom line is, when you're in a heated moment, because all arguments at some point there's tension, or there's friction in that tension, and friction causes heat. At some point there's always some heat, some issue, some friction built up. At that point, take a moment and remind yourself that winning the argument is not as important as keeping the relationship or building the relationship, right? A one-time heated argument is not worth tearing down that friendship. It's not worth tearing down your brother and sister. It's not worth tearing down the person in front of you. Now, if you want to have real influence, you build into it. Gain influence with the person that's in front of you, right? Start building on that. But don't tear it down just because you have some disagreement. It's okay to not agree about everything. Care more about the person in front of you than about your feelings and your need to seem like you've won the situation. There's a couple ways we can go through that. Some things I want you to remember. The first one will be to memorize, all right? We want to memorize this little verse. Be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to be angry. That could be on your mirror, that could be something that you see, but put it in front of you so you repetitively look at it, so you're repetitively reminded of it. Right? I need to be slow to speak, I need to be slow to anger, and quick to listen. Right? Put those words in front of you, so when you are in difficult situations, that will come to mind. Right? That's for anyone, whether you're like, hey, now he's asking me to memorize Bible verses, that's kind of weird. I'm not even a Christian, that's not even something I'm about. Off the table, it doesn't even matter It simply matters. This is a good principle to learn, regardless of where you are in your faith, or if you would even consider having faith in anything. It's important, it's very important that you just understand how to have conversations and disagreements with people. Next up, pause and pray. Take a minute. So when you feel the anger rising in you, take a second, pause, remove yourself from the conversation, remove yourself from the situation, take a minute and pray about it. Get back right, get back level. Because, like in my example with my boss, you could be right and wrong at the top of your voice, right? You can be 100% right in what you're saying, but that person is not going to hear you because you were just fighting, and they want to win as much as you want to win. So you, at the height of your voice, could be 100% correct and not help your case at all in the argument, in the discussion, right? You can be 100% wrong at how you go about doing it. And number 3, empathize. Understand that this is a person that cares about this topic, whatever it is. Understand that. Have empathy toward that. Understand that they're not a bad person. They're not going against whatever this issue is, whatever your disagreement is. Empathize with that so you can move forward. And we're going to discuss this more in your small groups that we're about to break to. I'm going to pray for us, and then we're going to break into small groups. Stephen isn't here, and so I will be with the 8th and 9th grade boys. Y'all see me. And then Miss Melissa will be with 6th, 7th, and 8th grade girls. All right, let me pray for you guys. God, I love you. God, this is something that I need to remind myself of constantly and over, is that I need to be super slow. I need to bring it down whenever I'm having a disagreement with someone. God, that my anger is not doing anything for the relationship. God, it's not putting me in the best light with them, especially if they know and I claim to be a Jesus follower, what that looks like to the person in front of me. God, it doesn't help with winning any sort of argument, right? If you get done with a heated discussion, you feel better just because you said what you wanted to say, but you absolutely destroyed the person in front of you. That's not what you would have from us. It's not what you asked from us, and it's not healthy for our life. So help us remember to listen first. Help us to empathize with the person in front of us and have good quality discussions in hot topic issues, things that mean and matter a lot to us. Got to look forward to the conversations that are about to start up in our small groups. It's in your name we pray.